It's up right now.
You're live?
Yeah.
Okay, so his mic is on too.
Want to take it back?
Yes. What? Here, Pack, if you have two, I'll take one.
Yeah, I don't have the mics hooked up to the phone though.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately not.
Where's that recording?
YouTube right now.
On News Chat?
South Jersey News.
Is the meeting over? And did you get video, Christian?
Anyone has a question, we have cards and I think you guys have shown
Oh, right.
Yeah, post it on your Facebook or on your YouTube.
I also had submitted it online.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the restroom. You can save my seat.
It's like a safety issue.
Say hi to the audience. Right there, you're good.
Pardon me, sir.
Go ahead, man. Live on South Jersey News Channel.
Name, city,
And then your question.
and your question. It was city though, right? The name of the city.
Yeah, I took my package. It was actually really fast. I was concerned that I have not yet left until it's a thousand and that Jersey actually closer. So I was like, I think I'm gonna try. Take the path.
Hi, if anyone has a question,
We did that. We did.
okay, perfect, yeah.
Thank you. I don't think you can read mine. My writing's horrible, but it's there.
Did you go to Paris just for a day?
We were there for a meeting. I said to my husband, I'm like, I think I'm
Did you say
so exhausted.
it's the third one?
Yes.
Because it feels like whenever I've been there, like the right moment for the training or for the class. It's only 25 minutes, you know, so you're
You
like
can walk,
25 minutes.
but every day when you're 8 or 8 miles when you're training, and then, and I was like, maybe I'll do that, you know. I'll be your sign every Sunday. I passed it, and this is our friend Ann. Hey, Ann. Yeah. We're very good friends.
Can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, put a thumbs up. We are at the Town Hall in Jersey City. Thank you. All right, cool. Hello, Claudette. Hello, George. Leroy will be back. Is it the Menendez who goes to prison? I don't think so. I think that possibly they're related, though. And what's up, Brandon? How you doing? You are live on the mic now.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah, I got that set up.
Was that live the whole time?
I don't think so. It cut off, and then when you came back over here,
All right.
yeah.
Oh my God. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to the live stream of the Attorney General Matt Plotkin and Congressman Rob Menendez event. This is going to be an awesome event, and where constitutional rights will be protected, it will be peaceful, and people will be asking questions, though they wouldn't take any direct questions. They want to keep everything completely controlled. So they're not allowing people to ask questions from the floor. They've asked people to write down questions.
Yeah, write
and
down
they
questions.
will only ask questions that are going to be favorable to the Congressman Rob Menendez and New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin. This is Leroy Truth with Leroy Truth Investigations, and I am on South Jersey News. And you have two mics spinning?
Yeah, I got one on.
Oh, excellent. And that looks very presidential. Vinny, your camera is awesome too. Which phone is that?
That's the iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Yeah, the video looks incredible.
Thanks.
Very, very clear. And please smash that like button, everybody, and please share this with the world. Wake the neighbors, wake the pets, wake the milkman. Do the milkman even exist anymore? I don't know, maybe in Oklahoma. I wish they did. In fact, when I was a kid, Vinny, I used to walk just about almost a half a mile. Walk almost, let's see, we're gonna get my mic on better. I used to walk almost a half a mile each way with a 1 gallon milk bucket
Really?
and pick up milk from the dairy farmer, who they would get it from the cows right there. Fresh milk. I did that for a while, and it was $1 a gallon, and eventually they raised the price.
You know what they're charging for that right now?
What?
Raw milk
Yeah.
per gallon, $10.
Wow, I paid $1 a gallon, but then they had the audacity after a few years to raise it to $1.25 a gallon. Cash only. But it was wild. And again, so healthy, raw milk. And we were healthy. Yeah, it was great for us, the whole
Yeah.
family. So we're waiting now. It's about 4 minutes to 6. This event's supposed to start at 6 o'clock. And this is with New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin and with Congressman Rob Menendez. And of course, New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin is the most corrupt Attorney General, as far as I know, in the entire United States of America. And of course, Congressman Rob Menendez, his father and his stepmother, were just found guilty on a total of 29 charges.
Yeah, that's what they were wondering. So is he related to Bob Menendez?
That's his father.
Oh,
Yeah.
They were wondering.
Right. So, but here's the problem in the family. This is family dynamics. Bob was only found guilty of he was only charged and found guilty of all 14 counts. Nadine was charged and found guilty on all 15 counts. So Nadine beat Bob Menendez in charges. So I know the disgraced ex-U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, he's got a few charges that he can't go down with Nadine beating him,
Right.
15 to 14. It just ain't right. She wasn't even the Congress or senator. She was his wife.
You think Menendez was given gold bars to stack?
I don't know.
You never know.
But they were best friends. He was Menendez. Senator Bob Menendez, ex-senator, was Stack's mentor, and Senator Bob Menendez used to be
Right.
the mayor. Sat in the very chair, same desk as Senator and Mayor Stack. Same
Wow.
thing. Can you send me a link to your channel? I can't find it.
Let me figure it out.
I got this brand new camera that says it's got good battery. I tell you, the battery is not good. I don't know how you find it, but I'm glad you did.
I find it every time. Share?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Did you describe it though? I gotta describe it. Did you put it on Facebook or on
It's,
YouTube?
I don't know if you can do it. Let's see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start. It is 6 o'clock. I think it's 5:59. Let's see if they start on time. Because time is money, money is time, money is corruption, corruption is money.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Here we
Just
go.
give it a few more minutes for people to come in. We should be starting shortly.
It looks like a press conference.
Right, does, yeah. And all it takes is, well, that's Hudson County Community College, and they have the official seal there. So it looks like you see on TV, because it's the same stuff they use on TV. So ladies and gentlemen, they're going to get started in just a few minutes. Oh, that's the wrong
Yep.
Facebook.
Oh, right here.
Here, let me get to the right
Post. We gotta hit
one.
post.
That's the wrong Facebook. I mean, it's the wrong YouTube.
Oh.
That's that account.
Ah.
Here, now do your. And we're getting ready for New Jersey corrupt Attorney General Matt Plotkin to come out, and Congressman Rob Menendez, whose father was just convicted of 14 counts, all 14 charges he was found guilty of, including being a foreign agent, and his wife Nadine Menendez was also found guilty of all 15 counts, including being a foreign agent. And that's pretty crazy. Oh, here. I'm just looking at chats right now. Hey, Brandon Mitchell, George Daly. You got my milk from my neighbor lady. That's awesome. And Vinny's posting this on my YouTube and Facebook. Good. Rock and roll. And can you do the same thing on my Facebook? Let's get some more people in here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best live stream in the world right now because it's South Jersey News' live stream. Brandon Mitchell.
You got something going, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That should be almost done. Oh, yeah. And by the way, put a 1 if my sound is good, put a 0 if it is not. And we got some special DJI mics that South Jersey News has provided to us. And he's got so much incredible equipment. He looks like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and the Weather Channel all combined. And the Speed Channel network. And I'm uploading something that's so close to being done, for God's sakes.
So close. But
So
yet so
close.
far.
No, yet so close and yet so far. My eyes adore you.
What were the reserve seats here for?
Yeah, good question.
Hi, I'm so sorry. We've been asked to move the tripod for like fire safety
Yeah,
concerns.
No problem.
Is it possible you can hold it?
yeah, yes, it is.
No, I can put it off to the side.
Is there any way, because he's press, is there any way that he can have it like a special area there or something?
We'll talk to them, maybe like towards the back. Would that be
So
okay?
far back though, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna look like they're like little stamps.
Yeah, they're even having us.
Is there going to be some? Are there going to be people sitting here?
I think we're gonna have everyone move forward.
Oh, that would be great.
And we
If,
don't.
can I just move up?
I think as long as it's not blocking.
Then
Perfect.
I'll be.
You're so accommodating. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome. These are very nice people. Everyone's very professional here.
I guess that's not too bad.
No.
Well, that's kind of high.
And I got to tell you, the people here,
They're building on it right now.
That's what they said. They can't have it in the aisle.
Right. They've decided that they want to live up there.
all right, it's going to get started just a minute here.
Hi, I'm sorry. Can we move it somewhere where people behind you can see it? Like, we've got our camera back there. You're welcome to set it up next to it.
Can I just put it off to the side?
Over there's fine. Yeah, that'd be great. Just as long they can't see behind you. So.
Yeah, totally understandable.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
He's the journalist here.
Okay.
And-
Over off in the aisle over
You have a telephoto on that, Vin?
Yes.
Yeah, join us.
We'll try to answer your comments from Leroy's phone. Is that going to work, guys?
Who knows? They didn't come. Whoever it was. That was Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Tom Cruise, and Katy Perry.
Oh, she's out of the.
They can still hear us. You can check the comments on there.
Okay. And do you have a close up so they can?
Yeah, I'm up there.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. I can see it on. There we go. Here. All right. So let's see. Let's see if the sound comes through.
Works great.
The sound is great. Okay. Here, can you put it on my Facebook? And you don't have to wait. Just put it there. Again, I got to tell you, the people who were here organizing this have been very professional, including, and I will always give props where it's due, I think she said she was the chief of staff for Congressman Robin Menendez, and she's awesome. I mean, absolutely awesome. And I don't have my tripod here. I'm coming here as an American. In fact, if you could put there, watch live now with Leroy Truth and South Jersey News. And what Vinny's doing now is he's putting this on my Facebook so we can get more people on here. So watch live now with Leroy Truth and South Jersey News. Put Leroy Truth up there. And South Jersey News. Let's see, South Jersey News live. Let's see, put live again at a town hall meeting with New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin,
ATE.
New Jersey, capital A. And they're going to get started any minute now. We're hoping more people come, but we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 7, 8, 9, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got about 66 people, 67 people. They were hoping there would be hundreds. Let's see, watch live now with Truth and South Jersey News in Jersey City live at Townhall meeting. And if you're going to make T, all that capital, Town and Hall capital. And again, Jersey News is doing my Facebook here. It'd make the whole thing capital, Town Hall. So it stands out.
Oh, shit.
Okay, he's got it. He almost got it here.
Almost.
And by the way, if you double tap the capital, it locks it.
Oh, yeah?
Town hall meeting with Attorney General Matt Plotkin and Congressman Rob Menendez. There we go. And almost got it here. Congressman Rob Menendez. And we're excited to be here, everybody. Come on, Menendez, exclamation point. And then do a paragraph space, return. Watch live now, all in capitals. Double tap. Exclamation point. And then double space, and then put the link to your channel. And double, they call it breathing room there. Okay, then you do this.
It's amazing. It's more than 30 years. At least 30 years. I mean, I remember coaching my daughters. So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here I'm going to check the feed since the camera is, what would you say, this 30 feet away from us? 40 feet?
Yeah.
Well,
All right, hello everybody. It'd be great if you could put a microphone up there.
It would be good.
Yeah, there's Bob Menendez and there's Matt Plotkin.
Here they are.
Hey, he's got a red shirt like me. I mean, a red tie. And by the way, he wants to be governor, everybody. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You see there's Attorney General Matt Plotkin to the left, and then there's Senator Rob Menendez to the right there. And they're going to get microphones, so hopefully you can hear. And if you were able to ask them questions, what would you ask them?
Good evening and welcome to Hudson County Community College's Culinary Conference Center for tonight's Town Hall conversation with Congressman Rob Menendez and New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin. Tonight's Tonight we'll discuss the federal and state efforts to protect our democracy and to strengthen our communities in response to the first 100 days of the Trump administration. My name is Yuri Pujols. I'm the Vice President for Institutional Engagement and Excellence here at Hudson County Community College, and I'm happy to serve as your moderator for this evening. To get started, I ask that you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we begin, I want to provide some details about tonight's discussion and to help ensure that we can answer as many of your questions as possible. In a few moments, the Congressman and the Attorney General will open up our event, and then we'll turn to our Q&A portion. To be as efficient as possible and ensure that we answer as many questions as we can, we ask that you please submit your questions for the Congressman and the Attorney General on a note card, which I will read from. If you need a card or have questions that you would like to submit, please raise your hand and someone will come to you. Please make sure you include your first name, town, and your question in the card. We understand that there are lots of issues that our community feels passionate about, and we want to address as many of them as we can. Please be aware that the Congressman and the Attorney General are here in their official capacity, so they will not be able to comment on political or campaign matters. The Congressman and his team will ensure to follow up with anyone whose question wasn't answered in the coming days. But please keep in mind, the staff might only return answers and questions related to the Congressman's official work. And if you are in need of assistance with a federal agency,
Which means they're gonna pick and choose questions.
Congressman's staff will be available afterwards to speak with you as well. Now, I want to pass it on to evening speakers, Congressman Rob Menendez and Attorney General Matt Plotkin.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for coming out this evening. I want to thank Hudson County Community College for hosting us this evening. I want to thank our moderator for agreeing to step in and help us out here. And listen, we know that this is a really challenging time for so many people in our community. We see it every single day, even today. I was in Hoboken talking with child care providers. I was at Elizabeth Detention Center with Senator Kim, and we see challenges everywhere we look. And I felt that it was important as we continue to engage and do the work, that we had the opportunity to have this type of format. We can answer your questions while also telling you about some of the work that we're doing. And I'm really thankful that Attorney General Plotkin's here. And I want to explain why and our thinking behind that. So, often we get asked, well, what is happening in Washington in response to the Trump administration? I think the way to think about it is there's the executive branch, the administration, and the legislative branch, us in Congress. A lot of the action, if not all of the action that's taken place to date that's been harmful to our communities has happened at the executive level. Attorney generals throughout the country, when the administration overreaches, have taken action. And so we've coordinated in the House. House leadership has convened a litigation working task force, of which I was asked to be on, and we get to see the issues from our perch in the legislature, work with attorney generals who are interested in the same issues that we are, and take action in courts. This is the important thing. We have been very successful in courts. With the over 100-something actions, there have already been 80-something temporary restraining orders, which are trying to stop the administration from what they are doing until the court can hear the case and the Attorney General will speak to that. The legislative branch where I sit in the House of Representatives, how many of you have heard about reconciliation? Okay, so for those of you that haven't, reconciliation is a giant legislative vehicle where the Republicans can put in their tax priorities, their spending priorities, and the thing that I focused on the most because of the committee that I'm on, Energy and Commerce, is that our committee has been tasked with $880 billion in cuts. And so when you think of how do you get to that number, there's only two places to go with programs that are within our jurisdiction. That's Medicare and Medicaid. And now for those of you in New Jersey, Medicaid, you may know it as NJ Family Care. So we're going to talk more about Medicaid tonight, but it is an essential program. It is a safety net for so many families. It is everyone from newborns to people with permanent disabilities to seniors in long-term facilities, long-term care facilities. So when we go back to Washington on Monday, the reconciliation process will start. And so the things that you see happening now that Matt and others are directly involved in the courts, simultaneously the legislative work will begin and you will see a coordinated effort amongst House Democrats to push back against the most harmful components of what the Trump administration is seeking to do. Last thing that I want to share with you before I turn it over to the Attorney General is, most of you are aware, our work is split between here in the district and down in Washington. Every single day, all the folks who are here are part of our district team. We are working every single day to work with individuals, to work with families who live in this district, to make sure that they have access to our team so we can try to resolve their challenges. It ranges from folks who are from the Ukrainian community, who have questions about U4U being canceled, TPS, immigration matters. Whatever issue it is, our team is working every single day and trying to provide tangible solutions to individuals who call this district home, while our team in Washington is working every single day to take advantage of every legislative tool that we have in Congress to push back against this administration. But because so much, as I said earlier, of what we've done and the work that's been done is in the courts, I'm really honored to have Attorney General Plotkin here to speak from his perspective as an Attorney General who's been at the forefront of so many of these actions. With that, turn it over to Attorney General Matt Plotkin.
We're so corrupt.
Thank you, Congressman Menendez, for hosting us and for the work that you're doing down in Washington on our behalf. I want to thank the college for meeting tonight. I want to thank you all for being here. This is obviously a really scary time in American history. As the Attorney General of the state, person tasked with keeping 9.5 million people safe, person who represents you all, assuming you're a resident of New Jersey, it has been an extraordinary time to be the Attorney General. And I'm extremely proud of the work that we're doing to protect you all. So I said since November 5th, I said since many times since January 20th, the president is duly elected. He is the president. By the way, you go back 4 years, you'll see a lot of my colleagues saying something very different about a very legitimate election, but he's been elected president. And with that comes broad powers. And he has majorities in both chambers of Congress, and there's legal ways to make change. And for me, my job's different than Congressman's. We talked about it. My job is not to disagree with him on policy grounds or on political grounds. There's a very important debate going on in Washington about the key programs that the congressman just talked about, and I'll defer to the legislative branch for that. But the president has chosen not to use the legal avenues he has to make change. He's chosen, frankly, to act like a king, to issue an unprecedented flurry of executive orders. He does. Plotkin does the same thing. Have flagrantly violated the law. These are not like up because the administration has stopped enforcing things that protect you. The Department of Justice was created in 1870 specifically to protect civil rights of residents in the southern United States and combat the Ku Klux Klan. Well, the Department of Justice says they no longer care about protecting civil rights of Americans. They've gotten out of that business. They shuttered the Office of Civil Rights in the Federal Department of Education as part of their attempt to close the entire Department of Education. So what does that mean? It means kids in schools aren't protected when they're subject to bias, or our daughters aren't protected when they face sexual harassment or sexual assault. So we have an obligation in the state, and I'm really grateful to live in a state like New Jersey, where we have strong tools, we have strong laws, and we have people in place to use state resources to protect, and we've gotten help from our federal partners to do that work. And so we're gonna keep doing both things. We're gonna keep standing up for the rule of law and protecting you when this administration hurts you, and we're not gonna stop protecting folks from harm under state laws simply because this administration doesn't like certain things. They like to use the term DEI. They don't even know what that means. They haven't tried to define it. They would take away our kids' school funding because we had a Martin Luther King Day event or a Black History Month event or a Lunar New Year event. The same events, by the way, the president had in the West Wing of the Oval Office of the West Wing. Literally. If you're against diversity, equity, inclusion, it means you're for uniformity, inequity, and exclusion. Those aren't the principles laid out in the United States Constitution. So we're going to keep standing up for the things in New Jersey that we have stood for, and we're going to push back when they do things that violate the law and hurt the people of our state.
Just real quick, as Matt's answer, he reminded me that I didn't answer the last part of it. And again, this is a government setting, so it can't get too close to the political side. But on mobilization, what you can all do, and I think this is just really important. We know that what the administration wants to do, and again, they've been transparent about it, is to flood the zone, right? For two reasons, in my opinion. One is they, in a lot of efforts, want to distract with some of the chaos from some of the real damage that they're doing. Every day, there's real damage being done, and then things that just get put into the news cycle with so much going on in each individual's life, that's what they see, and they can't dive down to see what's the real harm that's going on here. Why are they talking about this? What are they distracting us from? That's part one of the flood the zone strategy. Excuse me, I'm a little away. But part two is they really want people to disengage. They want to overwhelm you all. They want you to just throw your hands up and say, this is too much. Like, I just can't. Like, I have too much. I have to worry about my apartment. I have to worry about my kids. I have to worry about groceries. It's just too much. And disengage. The health of our democracy requires you all to engage. The future of our democracy requires all of you to participate in whatever fashion that is. And that I won't speak to. I'll leave it to you all. But showing up, lifting your voices, continuing to engage, not being silent when you see something wrong. That is critically important. You all are the red line in our democracy. Matt and I are happy to be at the front lines. I said to him, and I said to you all, I can't wait to get back to Washington. I have to leave my family. I have to leave my 2 young kids. But the fight's there. And I want to go to the fight. And I'll keep doing it. I know Matt will keep doing it. And all the people that we're so honored to work with will keep doing it. We need you all to stay engaged. Because your engagement is the red line that prevents this from going completely off the guardrails. There will be damage done. We're trying to limit it. They will try to shake the pillars of our democracy. We're trying to steady them. But we know with you engaged, there's no way that we can't meet this moment. And so we're going to continue to do it, but what you all can do is do what you're doing tonight. Do what you ever do every day. Reach out to our office. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to your neighbors. Keep them engaged, because if we do that, if we have your engagement, we will meet this moment and we will get to those better tomorrows.
Thank you. The next popular question that came up in the pre-screen questions was, I am concerned about the way that immigrants are being treated. What are you doing to help protect immigrants in our state?
Yeah, so this district, for those of you who are not familiar with the 8th Congressional District, is an incredible population where over 40% of the people that live here were born outside the country. In my first term, when we set up our district office, the overwhelming number of cases that our office was dealing with to help constituents were immigration related. When we took office, one of the things that we prioritized is we didn't believe in the continuation of privately run detention centers here in the state of New Jersey. New Jersey passed a law. It was challenged in court, unfortunately, but there's one that continues to operate in Elizabeth. And we, along with so many of our colleagues, including Bonnie Watson-Coleman, and Congressman Payne, now Congresswoman LaMonica McIver, we've been trying to end the operation of that facility, that privately run detention center. Every day, and this again, there's 2 worlds that we live in. Every day our district office is helping immigrants across the district, helping families across the district, whether they're Ukrainian, Venezuelan, Somalian, it doesn't matter. We help everyone, and we try to make sure that they have the safety that they deserve. They can continue to contribute to our communities. The people that ICE is currently targeting now have generally been here for over 15 years, right? So think about that. There are people that are part of mixed status families. There are people whose children are U.S. citizens. And so every single day that we've been at the forefront of this issue, we are doing 2 things. We're helping the people that live here, making sure that they're safe, making sure they feel protected. We've gone into every single municipality and done Know Your Rights trainings. We've dropped off Know Your Rights flyers in about 12 different languages. We've shown up at community resource fairs. We've shown up at community centers, at libraries, anywhere we can go to make sure people have the information that they need so they feel like they're equipped with knowledge. We make sure that they know that while we're part of the federal government, we are here to serve them. And we've also engaged directly with ICE and DHS. We sent a letter most recently on an email that the administration says was accidentally sent to Ukrainians across the country, saying they had to self-deport in 7 days. And when we looked into it, the administration said, oh, sent that out by accident. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Especially with what's going on in Ukraine. Can you imagine getting that email? Listen, can you imagine getting that email saying you have to self-deport in 7 days? We corrected that. And then we sent a letter to the administration saying, we need to understand how this came to be. So whatever issue it is, we have been fully engaged. I was actually at Elizabeth Detention Center earlier today with Senator Kim, checking the conditions because we know that they're pushing and they're likely overcrowded. We checked in on 2 folks from the state who are being held there. We're going to continue to do so. We're going to continue to push this administration. We're going to continue to stand up for the values of our incredible district.
Well, thank you for that. And let me just say a couple things. You know, we're sitting here in one of the most diverse cities in in America, a city that is built, a community that is comprised of immigrant communities from across the world. We're sitting in the shadow of the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island, where everybody, just about his family, who lives in this state came through, or one of the ports that they came into. This is a state that has been built by immigrant families for generations. We should be proud of that. It has enriched our state and has enriched this country. And I'm frankly pretty sick of hearing the demonization of people who have come to this country with nothing and helped build their lives, their children's lives, who are raising American children here, who have done nothing wrong, who run businesses, who pay taxes, who have served in law enforcement and in the military. That's who we're talking about. There is no such thing. I can say this as the person responsible for ensuring this. There is no such thing as sanctuary for criminals in the state of New Jersey. That is a complete political BS talking point from the other side who wants to target people who have done nothing wrong. You've committed a violent crime here, we already cooperate with federal authorities and have been. But we also stand up and say, for public safety, it is not good if people who have done nothing wrong here fear the consequences of simply calling 911 to report a crime, right? That's what we're talking about. So we don't do what they tried to do last week, which is deport the victim of a violent domestic violence attack in an attempted murder case that the prosecutor's office in New Jersey is trying to prosecute. Tell me how that helps public safety, where people who have been victims of crimes don't call 911 because they're worried about their mom or their grandma or their tio or their tia or their son or daughter, or whoever it may be, when they've done nothing wrong. We want people to trust law enforcement. That's why law enforcement has supported the protections we have in place. That's why every court has upheld it, including appointees of President Trump. Not controversial. So we need to remember that people have rights in this country. Those rights did not change on January 20th. Correct me if I'm wrong. They have not passed a new statute that changes people's rights. They haven't rewritten the Constitution. And, you know, again, talking about the rule of law, it has to mean something. And to me, it can't mean that they can send anyone, including apparently American citizens, to a foreign torture chamber in El Salvador and not be able to bring you back. Think about that. So the lawsuits that we've stood up and supported lawsuits involving protected status. As I said, we're leading the birthright litigation. We have led now for 7 years litigation protecting DACA, which is still in effect because of the state of New Jersey. So we're going to continue to stand up for our immigrant communities. We're going to continue to protect them because they are part of our community. It's not like you can draw some line and say you have this group of other immigrants over here and everybody else over here. They're living amongst us. They are our family. They are our friends. If they've done something wrong here, yes, they will be held accountable. But law enforcement's role is not to go into somebody's house or school or church and rip a mother who has done nothing wrong away from her American-born child. That, when they say they want to commandeer state and local law enforcement, those are the cases they are talking about. Trust me, I know what these cases look like. It is not the violent criminal. We're already cooperating on that. And nobody would suggest, myself included, that you have sanctuary if you've committed a violent crime. So just remember what people are talking about. They're talking about our neighbors, our family, our friends, and people who have rights. And those rights are enshrined in law for a reason, and we need to uphold them.
Thank you. Now let's get some questions from our audience, and we'll start with Edward Perkins from Jersey City. And the question reads, what could be done to ensure ICE doesn't get to use Atlantic Hall as a detention center?
Yeah, I'll let, yeah, sorry, so I'll be quick. But just because it's already been really addressed, the state legislature and the governor passed a law that prohibited private immigration facilities in New Jersey. That law was challenged. Unfortunately, district court enjoined that law, meaning it didn't come into effect. My office is leading the defense of it. We are continuing to litigate it. We believe it's constitutional. We are at the appellate court. I'm hopeful that we will prevail, and then centers or detention centers, private detention centers like that, or the one that they're talking about maybe in Newark, would not be able to occur in the state of New Jersey.
And then just the two things I would add to it is the city of Newark and Mayor Rock have done a great job challenging the opening of Delaney Hall. We've sent letters challenging the opening of Delaney Hall. We're also concerned about Union County putting out to bid their former jail. We've put out a statement, reached out to the county commissioners there because we don't believe in the expansion or opening of new privately run detention centers.
Thank you. And the next question comes from an anonymous federal employee, and the question is, what can the Congress do to protect federal employees who are trying to serve?
Yeah, sure. So we've taken, one is, again, just not to be redundant, but challenging those cuts, changes, firings in court, a lot of success there. We've also done what we can in the minority party to challenge the actions that the administration has taken with respect to firings. We've also sent letters to the different departments, agency heads, challenging and demanding answers for why they've made these decisions. Most of them don't make any sense. Most of them are not target or goal specific. What we need to do while these things are happening, because a lot of federal employees are being brought back, but the uncertainty is corrosive for the federal workforce. This is an important statistic for people to think about. 85% of the federal workforce lives outside.
Can you see the video and can you hear what's
Not like
going
outside
on?
in Maryland, like in other parts of the country. So we've seen it here with our Social Security Administration offices, with our HUD offices. It's our neighbors who are being laid off, who are subject to RICs. Like, these are people who are in our communities, who are serving our communities, who are being impacted by these decisions, whether they get to go back to work or not. But the long-term consequences are very real. We want to make sure that in every moment we let all federal employees, all federal workers know that they are supported, that their unions are supporting them in many instances, and we will continue to appreciate and uplift their work, because to meet the challenges that we have to, we need so many more incredible civil servants, public servants who want to serve the federal government. We'll continue to do that, push back, and also uplift their work and thank them for it.
The next question reads, we are noticing McCarthyism on Palestinians and issues affecting them. Will you uphold the First Amendment to protect people who are critical of Trump and the state of Israel?
Yes, we have seen this, especially with respect to college campuses.
Thank you, George.
It's been a nationwide issue. We've engaged with colleagues on this issue. We're working on a letter now with colleagues, making it clear this is unacceptable, pushing back against the administration on this targeting of individuals, and we will continue to do so. Universities are a place to have conversations, to have disagreements, to have those engagements with people who may feel and think differently than you. But we've seen the consistency in who this administration is targeting. We're very concerned by it. We've been working, our district office has, with folks here in New Jersey as well, and making sure that they have all the protections in place, making sure that we also, where appropriate, can connect them to legal counsel. We'll continue to do so.
I would just make one observation. We've seen an unprecedented assault on the First Amendment over the past 100 days. Press, unprecedented assault.
Yeah.
Amen. Universities.
Amen.
Amen.
Where, as the Congressman said, is the center for people to exchange ideas, targeted and tried, and in many cases, try to cripple them. And with respect to Harvard and some other places, yank their tax, weaponize the IRS against them. Law firms and lawyers punished for doing their constitutionally protected right to advocate on behalf of their clients, something we have an obligation as lawyers to do in the rules of professional conduct. And so I have stood up on all of the accounts, and I have been both very supportive of lawyers who have fought these orders, and yeah, I've been pretty critical of lawyers that have proactively caved. on it, because this is fundamental. People can't get to court, the press can't report, the universities can't be places where ideas can be exchanged freely and openly without fear of retribution, then we don't have a democracy anymore. The First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason.
Amen.
So we have to protect it.
Yeah.
And
Protect the First Amendment.
That said, just real quickly, is because again, the nature of this district is the weaponization of our immigration laws. Because you heard during the campaign that Trump said it was only about criminals, right? Well, their enforcement of immigration laws has shown it's anything but that. They're coming directly into our communities, they're coming onto our college campuses. They clearly lied to the American people.
He's a complete liar.
When they're taking office. We see
He
it
supports
every single day.
the shredding of my First Amendment rights completely.
The next question.
He's a liar.
Reads, what is being done about the incessant, non-stop helicopter traffic? It starts around 7 a.m. and continues past 10 p.m. The person has been living in Jersey City for 23 years, and the situation is not improved. So what can be done about it?
Yes, I appreciate this question because, since we got to Congress, we've been working on the helicopter issue in a multitude of ways. It started in a very limited way with Liberty State Park and it being so close to the National Monument, Liberty Statue of Liberty, and it was creating helicopter traffic into the park. So that was issue number one that we dealt with. But then when we started looking into the issue, we saw what a quality of life issue this is for so many people. Those of you that live in Hudson County, you know that the heliport's in Kearney. So it takes off from Kearney, rises over the Jersey City Heights, is directly over so many buildings where so many of you probably live, and then continues on to the Hudson River, goes along our coastline, and circles the Statue of Liberty up to the George Washington Bridge. We've constantly taken the issue one step farther every single time. It's been difficult to do with the FAA, but we had the FAA to the district for a workshop so they can engage directly with the local electeds and stakeholders, including Stop the Chop, to continue to push them for changes to what we're seeing on a regular basis. Obviously, what happened the other week with the deadly crash of 6 individuals so close to our shoreline was the worst of what we always knew could happen. And so in the coming days, you'll see both at the federal level and at the local level. I know New York's currently working on it, but we are as well with legislation that will ban all non-essential helicopters. As an option two, we are also going to strive for greater regulation, oversight, closing of loopholes on these air tourism helicopters. We're going to work with our friends across the river. We're going to work with municipalities which can do things to limit the operation of heliports. If you limit the operation of the heliports, you limit the operation of the helicopters. We're going to work on it at every single level. We are frustrated. We hear your frustrations. And obviously what happened was something that we never want to see again. So we'll see additional action on top of what we've already done. I know it's frustrating for me, but we're not going to stop. We're going to stick to it, and my goal is in the next couple of months see real tangible action.
Thank you. The next question comes from Emmy Foucher from Hoboken. How can we, as NG residents, work to convince our other Republican representatives to not support a federal concealed carry reciprocity law? And wrote in, we want to keep New Jersey safe.
First, Amy, thanks to you and Moms Demand Action for all that you do. It's so incredibly frustrating that the sort of the list of things that we're dealing with right now with the new administration, with the new Congress, that gun violence prevention is not even on the radar for this administration. This has been one of, as you know, the most challenging issues to get bipartisan support. We did last Congress, and there was momentum with the Biden administration. My colleague Maxwell Frost worked to get the Gun Violence Prevention Task Force as something that was set up at the executive level. Within the first couple of days, President Trump disbanded it. So it's a bad signal for how Republicans are going to engage on this issue. Nonetheless, continuing to tell stories about how gun violence impacts all of our communities. What happened just last week at Florida State University with students who were also involved in gun violence incidents at at their high schools have now seen their 2 different places of academic learning. Those stories and the work that you do is so critically important. If this administration, this Congress doesn't want to focus on that, they want to put their heads in the sand, we need to continue to shine a light on this problem and hold them accountable.
I would just underscore how serious this risk is. What they're talking about with concealed carry reciprocity, which is sort of a complicated way of saying, we're just gonna go to the lowest common denominator. In states that have no permitting process for concealed carry, if you get a permit in that state, it means you can carry in New Jersey. No court in the country has ever said that that's required. Look, I'm litigating, my office is litigating the defense of our what's called sensitive spaces law, which keeps, I think, pretty common sense, guns at some common sense places like schools and parks and zoos and playgrounds and bars, places where we know people congregate. And I say this all the time to people who are the strongest Second Amendment proponents and gun violence prevention crowd. And by the way, I'm not questioning whether the Second Amendment exists, but the facts are the facts. New Jersey, until 2 years ago, had very little concealed carry. Very little. Because we had a heightened standard for it that the Supreme Court struck down. By the way, you know who made the decisions as to whether or not you could carry a gun up to 2 years ago? Law enforcement. Wasn't some like woke left judge, wasn't me, it was cops who determined whether or not it was safe for somebody to carry a firearm. And the Supreme Court disregarded their judgment in the densest states in the nation and said, no, the rules that apply in Montana should be the same as New Jersey. Be that as it may, they still said you can have places where you can't carry a firearm. And we have been litigating that against the NRA, against the NSSF, which have said publicly they want to strike down every single one of New Jersey's gun safety laws. That's their goal. So far, their count is 0. We've just successfully defended every one of our laws. And what's the result of that? You're 6 times more likely to be shot and killed in Mississippi than you are in New Jersey. 2 years ago was the first year ever that we had under 1,000 people shot in our state. First time ever since we've been tracking the statistics. Last year we were 16% below that, 778. This year we're even below that. Because what we're doing is working. Now that's 778 people too many, trust me. Like many of you probably, I spend far more time with victims of gun violence than I like. And once you meet one victim of gun violence, you know you never want to meet another. But the things that we are doing is working. And the things that I'm now currently litigating against makes me sick. Like things like the engaged in the business rule, so to speak. What does that mean? It means the administration is trying to revoke that rule. That means that if you're a violent domestic violence abuser, you can go to a gun show and get a gun without having to go to background check. They want to legalize tools that can convert a handgun into a machine gun. Machine guns, which nobody disputes. Well, not nobody. The vast majority of people don't dispute are clearly illegal. They've been illegal in this country for 100 years. That's what this administration's Second Amendment agenda would do. It would put machine guns on the streets. It would give domestic abusers firearms. It would allow somebody who didn't even have to go through a permitting process to carry a gun into a school. That scares me as a chief law enforcement officer. It scares me as a parent in a nation where the #1 cause of death for children remains a firearm. Not a gender pronoun, a firearm. So we're going to keep fighting.
The next question reads, can you share how legal actions taken by the state of New Jersey against the federal policies and executive orders under Trump's administration have impacted the state's budget? Are these costs passed along to the taxpayers of New Jersey?
So I'm not an investment professional, but if I were, I would say you're getting the best bang for your buck from our office right now of any investment anyone could ever make. We have like a relative handful of lawyers working on this work. Full time, basically. By a conservative count, we've saved the state over the last 100 days or so, $22 billion. Billion. That's the amount of money that the administration has tried to withhold, freeze, and if I were to actually count the number of times they've double counted money and tried different ways to freeze or cut, it would be even more than that. So, no, this is work we have to do. The state budget would literally be crippled if the federal government could unlawfully take this money back. And again, these aren't policy decisions. Congressman can speak to this. Congress comes together, passes a budget, president signs a budget. Article 1 of the Constitution gives Congress the appropriation power. This president wants to weaponize that power against states and cities that he doesn't like, again, for reasons he can't even articulate. He says if you don't allow them to control our election system, something the 10th Amendment gives to the states, as well as other provisions in the Constitution, then he's going to revoke, literally, this is true, 100% of the federal funding that goes to law enforcement in your state. It's going to defund our police if we don't adhere to his unlawful, illegal attempt to control our election system. Something we're actually litigating right now. I can't even believe I have to say that. So, I would say conservatively, 22 billion. Handful of lawyers, I think it's a pretty good ROI right now.
Yeah, just real quick, because you touched, this is an important thing about the separation of powers between the executive and the legislative branches. This was decided in post-Nixon Supreme Court land, 1974. I think the Impoundment Act was passed into law to make clear that the administration is supposed to enact and execute the laws that Congress has passed with appropriated funds. And it was, I think, a 9-0 Supreme Court decision, including later on Justice Scalia affirming the decision. So the things that Matt and other AGs are doing right now, we shouldn't have to be doing, right? This administration, if they were honoring the decision, honoring the Impoundment Act of 1974, we would not be in this situation, but their constant overreach has meant that AGs across the country have to go to court, and personally very thankful that Matt and his team are.
The next question ties into some of the themes that you have already mentioned, but the question reads, what is the plan to prevent the cuts in federal funding to public schools in particular?
I'll speak quick because I know we want to we're litigating it. We've sued over the elimination of the Department of Education, which, make no mistake, would result in a devastation of federal funding for education. Again, Ronald Reagan tried to do it through Congress. He couldn't get it done. This president's trying to do it illegally with the stroke of a pen. They cut hundreds of millions of dollars in teacher training grants. We got an order saying they have to reinstate them. They cut unlawfully millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars across the country of COVID funds to help make up for learning loss that occurred during COVID, ESSER funds. We sued, got them reinstated. And the biggest bulk of the funding that we're fighting over here are Title I and IDEA, which are tied to the unlawful elimination of the Federal Department of Education. We're in court right now, we're helping lead those lawsuits, and I'm confident we're gonna prevail, and then the congressman can talk about the fight that they're having.
Yeah, no, and appreciate the Attorney General and the work that he's doing, because the funding cuts to the Department of Education, what they're trying to do is just, you see it every day in our schools who are already struggling, challenged to meet the needs of their students, especially when we know how good our education can be. We just need the resources for it. And to see this administration completely try to undermine what public education in this country is and what it should be and what a right it should be for all Americans is something that we are pushing back on every single day. You're seeing a lot of Republicans go back to their districts and see when they have to talk to their educators, talk to their administrators about the consequences of what these cuts would be, talk to parents about what these cuts would mean, and you're seeing a lot of pushback even within the Republican members of Congress on these cuts because they would be just extremely harmful for our public education system.
The next question, can you speak to the progress or lack thereof of FEMA releasing obligated funds? Our disaster grant funds have slowed to a trickle with new additional federal spending before being released.
Yeah, so FEMA has been one of the many places that obviously this administration has sought to target. We are continuing to work in court and otherwise with unlocking those funds and making sure that they are properly sent out and dispersed to the communities that desperately need them. This should not be natural disasters, should never be a red or blue state issue. This impacts all of us. Most recently, you saw it in Georgia, North Carolina, Texas. We know what happened here years ago with Superstorm Sandy. And if we can't have a agreement amongst both parties that when any district, any state is impacted by a natural disaster, it is the federal government's obligation to continue to push. All of our colleagues and Republicans should join us on that effort.
Time flies when you're having fun. Unfortunately, we're out of time. If we did not get to your question, please stick around after the event.
That's
and a member of the
crazy.
Congressman's staff will be available to speak with you one-on-one. Now, I'll pass it on to the Congressman and the Attorney General if they'd like to say anything in closing.
Yeah, thank you so much again for moderating. Thanks to the Attorney General for agreeing to do this. I think it was really helpful to have your perspective, and always appreciate the work that you're doing. And all I'll close with is just thank you to all of you and all the things that you do in your communities. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being a part of this. What I said earlier would be my final line, that we will get through this, we will get through it together. You staying engaged.
I guess so, George. That's crazy.
This will be part of the effort. And I know these are just really challenging times, but I assure you there are so many people who are working every single day. I think about all the challenges that we face from the time I get up to the time that I go to sleep. When I wake up randomly at 4 in the morning, this is where my mind goes to. We're thinking about any ways that we can push back against this administration. We're thinking about how we can support all of you every single day to make sure that you know we're in your corner. We are never going to back down. We will always be there with you. We will always fight for you and your family. I have an incredible team who are a team of public servants every single day. I see how hard they're working. And I'm so thankful for them because together we can do the work that you all deserve. And that's what I'm committed to. And so we're going to continue to engage, continue to do outreach. We're going to go to community centers. We're going to go to bodegas. We're going to go to senior centers. We will be everywhere. And when you hopefully have a time to not think about what's happening in Washington, we will be there. And
Thank you,
hopefully
user.
when you have time to be with your family, I may not be with mine, but I will be there fighting for all of you. And that's what I signed up for. That's what I hope you all push me to do every single day. And I promise you that is what I'm focused on. And I want to get to those better tomorrows as quickly as possible. So thank you all so much.
They didn't answer Leroy's question.
I don't have much to add other than to thank the congressman for the work that he's doing. We stay in very close contact between our offices. And to thank you all for showing up and for letting us know what you're seeing in your community. If you hear something, tell our office, tell the congressman's office. Please let us know. You will often
They don't
know things that are
respond to
happening
anything
before we
going
do.
in their office.
And as you've seen, we will move quickly. This is a moment where we collectively need to stand up for core principles of who we are as a nation. And I believe we will get through this, but I believe also there will be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years
James
from now.
Freeman.
Will be one of those moments where people look themselves in the mirror and say that they stand for the things they said they stood for. And
Let's see if we're able to speak to them after.
I can tell you the state of New Jersey is going to say we stood up for the principles that we care about. And I believe with your support and with you guys continuing to show up, we will get through this and we will do it together. So thank you.
Will you be having more of these in Jersey City?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
We're gonna do a number of different things. So please, we have a newsletter that if you subscribe to, you'll hear about all the different things that we're doing, and we'll continue to put information.
Hell yeah, Marco.
Newsletter, social media, etc. We'll continue to have.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, not everybody can make it.
Yeah, and that's what we also do.
Very nice.
So they can make it out and showing up at the place. Yeah, and different yeah.
Overall, did it go on?
What's up, full court?
Do we stand? We're gonna have to look at ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves: do we stand for the things that we say that we stand for? Constitution, First Amendment, the Constitution that includes the Second Amendment.
That's it.
First Amendment, though, primarily, right, is our right to redress our government for grievances, freedom of speech, to speak at public meetings, and will we be dragged out of those places for saying speech that is not favorable to anyone, right? And I think that was the main statement. Do we stand for the things we say we stand for? Because I couldn't agree with him more on most of the things that he said. I just think he's applying it on the scale of them to the federal government. We're applying that for us to local government, and we've encountered the same pushback, and we will not stop either. And we will not back down. So
I just asked Matt Plotkin, the most corrupt attorney general in the country, why he killed 4 criminal charges that I did against Secretary of the Board of Education, Justin Mercado, who was caught on 3 high-definition security cameras attacking and robbing me of my cell phone after a public meeting. Full court press was a witness. I just found out 3 days ago that Matt Plotkin, after reviewing the incontrovertible video showing Secretary of the Board of Education, Justin Mercado, who is Mayor and Senator Brian Stack's best friend and enforcer, after reviewing the incontrovertible video footage that indeed Justin Mercado did attack, assault, and rob me of my cell phone camera on the direction of Senator and Mayor Brian Stack. Attorney General, this corrupt, appointed politician said there was no probable cause to charge Justin Mercado with theft and other crimes, blatant crimes that he did to me. He talks about he upholds the rule of law. Bull. Only for those he is against Senator Stack, and he will give a free pass to those who are protected class. As I said to Detective Lansing in the Office of Public Integrity and Accountability, whose sole job is to go after corrupt politicians, when she told me, Matt Plotkin, this the most corrupt prosecutor in the entire United States, when he told her to call me and say, sorry, Leroy Truth, I reviewed incontrovertible evidence that Justin Mercado attacked and robbed me of my cell phone, attempted to punch me twice, attempted to destroy my cell phone, ran across the mayor's stack, and waved it in his face. I got Leroy's stolen phone. I got it, boss. Matt Plotkin said no crime happened there.
can you imagine if one of us were to do that to one of them in this very public room right now, the very same thing that they did to you, if we were to do that, these sheriff's officers or police officers, whoever would hear, would slam us on the floor, and they should arrest us and hold us accountable. But when they did that to you, no consequences whatsoever. And the very same people that are supposed to protect your rights are standing in this room saying that they do those very things when they, in fact, we know, do not do it, only if it applies to them. It's the rules for thee, but not for me, the same old typical standard stuff. So it was ironic because it's like they hold up a mirror to themselves. And the same way he was talking about the Trump administration, and this is not a partisan thing, everything that he said about them applied to them in reference to our experiences with them. So it's
right. Here's the irony of it. And by the way, they got a sheriff's officer watching me right now. He's right behind you. And everything that corrupt Attorney General of New Jersey, Matt Plotkin, complained and charged Trump with, he has personally done to me.
Same exact thing. I was thinking it the whole time. I'm like, he could have been speaking
About his crimes
about his
against me.
100%.
And so New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin, as I told Detective Lansing from the Office of Public Integrity and Accountability, which has been identified as being a corrupt agency who's supposed to go after corrupt politicians exactly like Senator and Mayor and Head of Judiciary Committee Stack. I told Detective Lansing, you tell Attorney General Matt Plotkin, I want to meet with him, and I want us to review that video footage together, peacefully as always, and I want him to look me in the eye, man to man, and tell me no attacks, robberies, thefts, or crimes occurred against me by Secretary of the Board of Education, best friend of Mayor and Senator Brian Stack. He is a liar, he is corrupt, and as it says in the Bible, ye shall know them by their fruits. And there's Robbie Menendez right there, whose father is like, he's corrupt, going to jail for 11 years, a maximum security prison.
Is it acting as a foreign agent? What is the actual?
And he was, and right here, here's our backdrop right here, Senator Rob Menendez. His father was convicted of all 14 counts, including acting as a foreign agent, so a traitor to the country.
And his mom, right?
And his
Stepmother, yeah.
Nadine Menendez, she beat Bob Menendez. She had 15 charges against her. She was found guilty on all 15, including being a foreign agent. That is a traitor to the country.
They always got a one up.
Right. The woman won. She won. Bob Menendez, you can't take that. And,
Are we live?
Nice. And this corrupt person, or I don't know if he's corrupt or not, but his, allegedly corrupt, but his father.
Is that your battle?
Yeah. Probably taught him, certainly taught his wife well. And I am here committed, South Jersey News is committed, Full Court Press is committed to make sure these corrupt politicians, and the most corrupt at the top is New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, of course, and his little puppet boy, New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin. Mayor Brian Stack is the head of the beast here. Donald Skrinsky, the attorney, is Bob Menendez's best friend, best man at his wedding. They're all dirty. And Donald Skrinsky, the lawyer, attorney, one of the attorneys for Union City, making millions and millions of dollars with Skrinsky Hollenbach. They had sexual harassment and assault allegations in their office where they were having sex. Like, his attorneys were having sex with women near a lobby where everyone can hear them having sex.
And they were chanting.
Yeah.
Get her!
Go!
Get her! But yeah, organized crime in New Jersey didn't go away. We just elected them, and that's what it is.
You want to try to ask him a question? Or you want to try to ask him a question?
Well,
Where's Matt Plotkin?
I asked Matt Plotkin. He ran. You didn't see.
He head for the hills?
Yeah, I happened to be coming in when he was going out.
Oh, he left?
Oh, he ran away.
He said they were going to stick around for questions.
He ran away from me.
Did he exit the building, or he's over there hiding?
He went out. He went out that way.
No way.
I was asking him questions, and he ran away from me.
He's probably over there.
I want to ask him about the Justin Mercado thing, peacefully, of course. Let's see.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask him why he found no probable cause when there was total, no, he ran away. He ran away. I have him on video running away. Huh.
This guy's so funny.
Let's
Hi,
have
how are
Rob
you?
Menendez as our backdrop.
What's up, brother? How are you? Santos, nice to meet you.
All right, so this Congressman Rob Menendez shouldn't be a congressman. The only reason he's there is because his daddy, 14-time convicted felon, ex-disgraced Senator Bob Menendez, supported him, and also Senator and Mayor Brian Stack. The only reason he's there, he's incompetent. I've heard he is unfortunately not very intelligent. And I did hear there's a Taco Bell hiring for an assistant night shift manager. That's what Rob Menendez would qualify for.
Nieves, I like that name.
And I'm blown away that almost everything that corrupt New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin accused President Trump of being and doing when it comes to the First Amendment and the rule of law. He has literally done against me.
I'm going to ask him a question.
So I think he should start calling himself New Jersey Attorney General Matt Trump.
No problem.
That's his new name, Matt Trump. If the shoe fits, wear it, buddy. Yeah, so it looks like the Attorney General bailed.
I wonder how the county commissioners meeting went.
How'd it go?
Yeah. Have you heard anything?
I did.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
And then I'm also wondering, we got to address the situation with.
Are you my battery, or did you give it to
I got it. With Rivera ejecting that kid from the Townhall meeting the other day by Jersey City Police.
Now, what I heard, now you didn't watch the video, you can tell me, is I was told by someone inside the police department that he continually talked out of turn and was yelling when other people were talking.
He was sitting down when they removed him.
Yeah.
I mean, the video speaks for itself. Just like you were sitting down in the church
right.
when they removed him.
Well, two things.
I don't believe a word that they say. I saw a man sitting down. They grabbed him by his collar. The sergeant.
Is that where the video starts?
That's just before that. He's already sitting maybe 4 or 5 seconds as the sergeant approaches him. Rivera wants him removed, but I'm sure there's more to the video. But either way, public meeting. He was sitting down. At that point, everything's dispelled.
He was doing. You know what I saw. He was sitting down at that point.
Yeah.
I saw him being ripped up by his shirt.
Yeah.
And that.
And that was our sergeant's friend.
crime.
Our friend from this. Was it the South District?
No, I don't think it was the South District.
I think it was.
Or maybe it
Oh
was.
no.
North, South, East, West. No, I don't think it was the South. Northwest, Southwest.
It was the one over there in Jersey City. Where was it at? I forget where it was. But it was the one we went before we went to the South District, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the North District.
And did we go to the South District?
No, the North is in the Heights.
Right.
It's one of the districts. There's only 4.
Right.
There's only 4.
Or is it like Wicked Witch? There's the Southwest Wicked Witch, the Southeast Wicked Witch. But then here's something very important. Is he was talking, corrupt New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin was talking about how dare Trump have illegal immigrants ripped out of churches. Well, I can relate. Because I was ripped out of a church right here in Jersey City.
By Jersey City Police?
While I was praying.
Yeah.
And I'm an American citizen.
Right.
I even have a passport,
Literally,
for God's sakes.
while he was praying, nothing happened. There was no situation, no issues, simply because a politician, Governor Phil Murphy, and ex-governor Jim McGreevey,
and Brian Stack,
didn't want him there. So imagine if they just didn't want us here, dragging us out. It's much like, well, Trump don't want him here. It's the same thing.
Right.
And so he ripped him out.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
And he knows that happened. He knows because I have a federal lawsuit and a state lawsuit, and he knows all this happened. So I absolutely relate of getting ripped out of a church.
Are any of those officers here?
No. Hey, what district are you guys with?
In the West District.
West District? All of you? All right.
Did you
West
say South?
West.
All right, West. Okay.
And that's based where? Where's the Oh, Communipaw. So that is the West District, right? Oh no, Communipaw, that's the little one over by KFC and all that. All right, no, not that one. You know what's the one over by Van Horn? In that area. The one that would cover. All right, no, not that one. What's that one? That's the East, West. The Heights is North, so it is South District.
The South?
Yeah. The real dirty, broken down looking one. That's the South. Is there a high school there?
Not Plotkin, yeah.
South District. Right? Oh, yeah, there's a school right next to it. Yeah, because when I walked behind there, he was saying there's a school back there. Yeah. All right, yeah. There's a Nieves there, too, in that South District. I met a couple
Ran away
of
from him.
It's just like one of my favorite last names because Puerto Rican.
And he's out. Yes, I got the video of Plotkin running away from me when I was asking him why did he kill the charges against Justin Mercado against me. He just ran away. All right.
Are you going to ask my man a question, or we're gonna wait in line, or we're gonna wait?
What's a good question?
He's itchy. He's waiting for you to ask him a question. He's hanging
I know.
around.
What's a good question?
A good question is, I think would be, I really appreciated the things you said about respecting the First Amendment of the Constitution. When my rights were have been violated for exercising my First Amendment right, you're sitting here with Matt Plotkin. He didn't defend me. You're well known with Brian Stack. He's pitting people against me. Do you condone that kind of behavior?
That's a great question. Here, and stay close, right there with me. Let's wait in line peacefully.
Right. Come on, come on. He's gonna protect us.
And we'll ask Congressman Menendez this very important question.
You're journalists, right?
I'm right now. I'm not a journalist. I'm asking him.
They're
a question.
journalists.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to set up an on-the-record interview,
I'm a member of the public, sir.
I'm happy to set up a time to talk.
Or I would as well. I do some journalism.
You're a journalist now.
Would you?
Yeah, I am
Oh,
now.
okay.
I thought it was going to be a bad thing.
No.
Yeah.
If you want to, I'm happy to get in touch.
Because I appreciated what Congressman Menendez said about the First Amendment.
Sure.
That is fundamental to our country. However, it has to be applied equally, of course.
Thank you.
To everybody.
Hey, we're friendly.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make clear, I don't think we're going to do an on-the-record interview tonight.
It's okay.
But if you want to get in touch with me,
I just had a
No, but it's the same. Look,
Yeah.
it's just the same questions like everybody else is asking. I've recorded him talking to several other people asking questions. There's no difference.
You're welcome to record.
Yeah,
I just want to
yeah.
make sure if you're a journalist and want to set up an
Oh,
interview.
absolutely.
Well,
Formal interview.
I appreciate that. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I think we have some questions we'd love to ask him. I wish AG Plotkin didn't leave so quickly.
Why did AG Plotkin leave? But I
No, we had
have
a really tight schedule.
Yeah.
We actually went over time.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah, we
ran
wanted
at
to.
7 and we.
I definitely had some questions for him because I agreed with. I mean, everything they said was spot on. There's just some discrepancies when it applies and to who it applies, and right.
Well, I don't work for the
Yeah,
Attorney General,
no, I know.
can't
Yeah.
speak to that, but,
Yeah.
You've got my contact information. If you want.
Thank you so
All
much.
of Congressman Menendez's staff has been incredibly professional.
Yeah,
It's
no,
been
it's
helpful. So it's been very positive experience.
This
tonight.
was a well-run meeting. I thought there would probably be more people here.
Well, I thought
Probably
there would be
only
a
because
lot more
this, in my opinion, the silly RSVP thing. Because like it's going to be so crowded, you
Well,
can't get in.
Part of it was we didn't know because this is a
If this
small
would be a big enough
we wanted to
space,
make sure
yeah.
we didn't have to-
But wouldn't it be good to have like 500 people waiting out line? Wouldn't that be great optics?
Not for them, not for the 500 people in line.
It would be for Congressman Menendez.
Yeah, I mean the optics for us, sure, it would look great if people were waiting. We're actually trying to answer questions.
But they didn't give him my question though. And
we didn't have. She had a stack of probably dozens that we didn't get to.
because my question was when it came to Attorney General Matt Plotkin, how does he determine, like with OPAA, who does he charge and find probable cause when a politician does corruption? Because I know there's X amount he goes after. And I'm curious, what his process is and why does he choose to go after some corrupt politicians and he doesn't choose to go after others? I was curious in some insights.
Yeah, I obviously can't speak to that. I'm also not a lawyer. So.
Are you a psychic? Maybe you can discern his brain?
No, I'm just a government employee.
Is it Nathaniel or Nathan?
Nathaniel.
Or Nate, Nat? What do they call you?
I was
What do your
Nat
friends
growing
call you?
You were getting fancy.
So Nat, do you know who we are? Have you seen us before?
I don't.
You haven't?
No,
Oh, okay.
I work in our DC office.
Oh, good.
Which is?
All right.
Washington, D.C.
At our DC. I thought you said
yeah.
the RDC
No,
office.
no,
I'm like,
our Washington, D.C.
okay, all right. Oh, so you're all right.
Yeah, so I came up for this.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't have any guns on you or anything like that? 'Cause-
You have ID?
I do.
What are the gun laws like in New Jersey? Because they brought that up with the
They're extremely
reciprocity.
restrictive. in anything.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
That's a tough
I'm
one.
from Maryland, so I know the gun laws in Maryland.
How are they in Maryland?
Strict.
Very
Yeah,
like
they're
so
very
like
strict.
New Jersey.
Yeah, there's concealed carry options, but
yeah.
it's I think similar to here where through the state police you have to get.
Do you have a concealed carry or
I do not.
unconcealed carry?
I do not.
Do a lot of the politicians you work with in Washington have concealed carry?
No.
No. Really? Maybe the Republicans.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, if they're considering, they're not telling me.
They're not telling us. Yeah. But I mean, it's actually illegal to open carry. Right? It's easier to get concealed carry.
Right,
than it is to
yes,
open.
it is.
They
Yeah.
make it sound like concealed carry is weird, but
Right.
they don't want everybody to know you're walking around strapped.
I know
right?
in Maryland it's definitely illegal to open carry.
Open carry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. With some exceptions, I think. Yeah.
I grew up in
I mean,
very rural.
I tend to think that where he was saying that law enforcement decides who has the guns. That's great because they have the guns.
Right.
So, yeah, they don't want anyone else having guns. They have guns and they have a monopoly on violence, which is good in some ways but bad in others, right?
Let me get.
Especially if you're in a situation where they're the ones violating your rights.
Hey,
And it
Congressman.
happens. If we're being honest, it happens every day, especially in urban areas and things like that. And I think it would happen less frequently because, like he said, we got to fight against oppression, whether it's coming from Donald Trump and his team or any government or agency, right? We have to be able to stand up for ourselves. And it's more likely that if we're able to defend
Congressman,
ourselves.
I
brother.
love
I'm
what
so
you said about the First Amendment. Can
You
I
need
ask
help?
you a simple question?
I can move
Because
back.
what you
Can I
said
do
about
it?
the First Amendment was extremely important, but it's not applied equally there. Because I was ripped out of a church here in Jersey City while praying, and that is a major violation of the First Amendment because Governor Murphy, Matt Plotkin, and Mayor Bryan and Senator Sack didn't want me in that church. Which,
We're glad that you were here.
well, I'm glad to be here, but I love that you support the First Amendment, but it's got to apply to everyone. And when Mayor Stack violates my rights or Governor Murphy, I want you to stand up for my rights as well.
Listen, you have a right to do what you do, Leroy, right? And there's parameters to it, as you know, right?
And I always,
We do across the right.
right,
As a
but
First
I've never
Amendment
violated any law, but I have 6 criminal charges against me brought to me by Senator Stack. So how do you square that?
Well, we'll continue to always support the First Amendment, and the particular issues that you're speaking to, I can't speak to because I wasn't there, and so I'm not aware.
Well, you've seen the videos though, right?
I've not actually. I'm being honest. I haven't seen them.
I would love to send them to you.
Appreciate you coming out
And
today.
and can we set up a formal interview as well?
You've got my contact info, so you can talk to
I
me.
do.
Send me an email and we'll keep in touch.
Yeah. All right, excellent. All right, appreciate you. Thank you.
I respect that he respects the First Amendment. It's very important to myself and my colleagues. And I would assume everybody in the room, hopefully if they're any American citizen would agree, the First Amendment is what makes our republic a great republic. However, his cronies have disrespected the First Amendment time and time again, and I would ask that he would unequivocally denounce them for doing that. Anytime we're in a place, yes, there are parameters. We didn't violate any codes of conduct, just as we didn't now. However, when they didn't like the questions being asked, they snatched the phones out of his hand, dragged him out of the aisle, and that, you can't have it both ways. Either you support the First Amendment across the board, or you don't, right? So the double talk, expected, the cookie cutter answer expected.
You know what I find funny though? He tried to run away from you. He knew who you were.
100%.
Oh, he called me by name.
Right, Leroy. And he ran away, but now he's talking to other people.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, that's a good psychoanalysis, right? Yeah. So he didn't. He wanted to avoid, especially the room got as quiet as it's been.
It became quiet
When he started speaking to him. Like, it's very telling, right? And it was a good question and a fair question. And what are they expecting? There's no issues here.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
We've never caused an issue. I've never caused an issue. You've never caused an issue. On the contrary, the issue always came when a politician overreached, when Justin Mercado grabbed Leroy's phone, his recording equipment, out of his hand. Wrestled it out of his hand, threw it on the floor. Like, where in America is that acceptable for a politician to do? If that would happen in this very room, just imagine with many more witnesses. Remember, we were there with just a small group of people, right? But today there's a lot more people. I don't think if someone would snatch, is she from NewJersey.com?
I don't know.
Isn't she the one that came to, what's that Townhall?
I'll check. I'll find out.
But if they snatched her camera out of her hand, the optics of that, right? And then threw it on the floor and threatened to hit her, that person would be in jail. So why is not Justin Mercado
Right.
charged with a crime?
They
And
would
the
be
person-
arrested on the spot.
And the person responsible for that was the man sitting at this table today, Attorney General Matt Plotkin, along with Esther Suarez and the whole crew. But they get away with it because that's Brian Stack's boy.
Up until
and
now.
they're all in what's the word? In collusion. Together. They're
Yeah.
all friends. So, yes, when they want to get at the administration, they're going to fight to the end. But when it applies to them, like he said, at the end of the day, are you going to look in the mirror and say the things that you said you believed in, you upheld those things? And I don't think they can look in the mirror and say that.
But they have no conscience. But here's another. This was a great experience today for a number of reasons. One is the man who witnessed, one of the people, a man witnessed me ripped out of the Jersey City church I referred to earlier, called Monumental Baptist Church in Jersey City, while I was praying. And he apologized to me. He said, "I'm sorry I got up, and because then that's when the cops took you." And he said he was conflicted, and he really wanted to say he was sorry. I said, "I forgive you. Learn this lesson. There are no mistakes, only lessons if you learn from them. Don't do that again when someone is violating someone's rights. Stand up to them. Once, it's a lesson. Twice, it's a mistake." Now, Congressman Rob Menendez sees we're not the enemy. We were able to have a brief dialogue together. And as you heard, you can hear a pin drop for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And he sees, I didn't set him up. I didn't do any gotcha questions.
Right.
And he could say, you know what? Leroy Truth is not who Senator and Mayor Brian Stack paint him out to be. And everyone who actually talks with me directly, they always say that.
It was interesting because Nathaniel attempted that wasn't an attempt to give us an interview. He was trying to cut us off and say, "Hey, I'll set this up for you. Don't ask him anything now."
Right. Yeah.
But we are going to, obviously. He was going to,
Right.
and we were going to record it. That was the only question I really have for him specifically. Anything else is really not going to go over very well. It's probably going to be, he's going to take serious offense to it, because, I don't know, is he a foreign operative? Question like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you shall know them by their fruits, right? So, do you got any gold? Where's the gold?
Wait. We got bananas, apples, cherries, and gold. Is gold a fruit too?
Gold is, it may be a vegetable.
Right, it's a vegetable. It's a vegetable, as I say. I add an extra syllable, a vegetable.
Yeah.
Now, this is very interesting. And again, this is going to enrage Stack that Congressman Rob Menendez interacted with me, which he should have, as he should with anyone here. And I happen to be the journalist holding politicians more accountable than anyone, along with my team, South Jersey News and Full Court Press. We all do together. And it was good. So, is he talking?
We out of here or what?
Yeah.
Give everybody a sigh of relief.
Right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 monitors. Do you see it? Hi, good to see you. You see, everything was good today, as it always is. The only shit show is when they come at me. Just like in the church in Jersey City. You saw that video? I was praying in the church when Governor Murphy, Matt Plotkin, and Mayor Brian Stack didn't want me in the church. They had no authority to remove me. But they told Jersey City Police to remove me. I got ripped out of the church, slammed on the ground, pushed to the sidewalk, no charges, no arrest, no trespass. I mean, it's insane. And so they always do this to me, and the Stack is like, Leroy's the problem. Like,
Hey,
no.
good meeting,
When I go to
brother. Thank
Hudson County Commissioners meetings, yeah, professional they are. I don't agree with most of the commissioners, but at least they have dialogue. And there's no circus. So if anyone connects the dots, the only circuses are at Union City. And then I even interacted today with Congressman Rob Menendez and supported him on the fact that he said he supports the First Amendment, which is great. And I said, I'm glad you do that, but it's got to be equal. I can't be ripped from a church praying because New Jersey Governor Murphy and Attorney General Matt Plotkin don't want me there, and Jim McGreevey. That is a major violation of my First Amendment rights. Or lastly, I was speaking during a Senate Judiciary hearing,
David.
seated at a desk,
okay. All right, yeah.
talking about a corrupt bill called 4142. And Senator Stack, who's head of Judiciary Committee, he didn't like my words. And he had the New Jersey State Police violently remove me while I was sitting during my public comment time. I never disrupted the meeting. They've disrupted my meeting time. I ended up going to the ER, and they almost slammed my head into a concrete wall on the way out.
But the sheriff's officers have been great, and I'm not saying that to blow smoke up your ass.
Right, but that's
Give him all the
It's
credit.
really
'cause
true.
I just got here.
No, everywhere we went
Yeah.
though. It's not just today.
but that's a fact.
And for a long time, even since before we got involved with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to the sheriff's department over here, and no issues whatsoever. You know, and I mean, you guys are well trained and professional, and we appreciate that.
Right,
You know?
and we support Sheriff Shalari, and that all my experiences have been good,
Please?
except
Not so much.
Except, and I want Officer Santos to hear this too. All of them were good, except it got close to being a problem 2 meetings ago, when Anthony Romano, chairman, didn't want me to hear the answers of Bill O'Day, and he was demanding the sheriffs remove me, and they started advancing toward me. I told them to stand down, and they did. And then I talked with them after, like, what did you do? Why were you doing that? We're all on the same side here. Romano he doesn't command you.
And that's the thing, right? Because this is the common theme at these public meetings, whether it's sheriffs, police, whoever it is. They seem to think that when a politician says remove him, they have to follow that order.
Right.
When what they should be doing is assessing the situation and saying, wait, did this man break the law? We're in
Right.
public. And if he hasn't, telling whoever it is, like Councilman Rivera yesterday, no. He hasn't violated the laws. I can't remove
Right.
it. It's
If
not
they've
whether I
broken
want to or like what he
If
said.
they've broken no laws,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
if they've broken no laws, like myself or anyone else, if someone says remove us now, you're not going to do it because we didn't break any laws. No different than when I was speaking at the podium and Bill O'Day, Commissioner O'Day, was answering my questions.
Right.
Romano didn't want him to answer my questions, so he used your team as his own personal security
Collective.
force based on his ego when I broke no law. And I talked with the sheriff's officers after. I said, "What did you do?" They said, "Oh, we didn't want it to escalate." Then you should have gone after him. And Romano should have been the one removed, not me.
Even if they go to the side and say, listen, we can't do anything. Right?
Right.
We can't do anything because he hasn't broken the law.
Exactly.
We have parameters we have to work in. The Constitution, primarily, New Jersey Constitution, state law.
Yeah.
You know, and then county ordinances and all the other bullshit little things that don't even really matter.
So keep doing what you're doing.
Anyway,
protect
what's your
our
name, sir?
rights.
Sergeant Flannelly.
Sergeant Flannery, nice to
Hey,
meet you.
what's your name?
Sergeant Flannelly.
Santos,
Flannery,
yeah, I got
pleasure
that
to meet
before.
you. Leroy Truth, pleasure to
You're
meet
good.
you.
I mean, I know you had an
Yeah.
assignment, so it was obvious that you
Speaking of our
watch
assignment, our assignment is over.
Yeah, because
Unfortunately,
watch those guys.
We're going on 14 hours. I have multiple things
Right.
to do.
All right, brother. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right,
All
man.
right, God bless you both.
All right, take care. Hey, she's from West New York.
Hey.
I've seen some of your reports, and I've actually spoken to you on Facebook, just like,
What's your name?
My name's Jessica.
Do you work at Burger King?
Yes.
You saw me earlier, right? I ordered from you. I literally ordered from her
Oh,
today.
yeah.
And I was live on Lefty show.
Oh, Lefty
with
Grind.
Steve Cross.
Yeah.
Speaking to someone else, though, I think. So I don't think you were.
You were at Burger King.
No, but Nicole was also there.
Do you have a twin? I mean, it was you.
You saw her, but you didn't serve him, right? You didn't take his order?
I don't think.
No, you took my order because I asked for 2 single hamburgers, heavier ketchup, no pickles.
And I heard.
Oh.
And you were frustrated because I drove away before you could confirm the order. I see you.
And a
as you're
water with a
driving
cup
away.
with ice. I heard that. I was on the phone. Where was I on the phone? That was
No, I didn't get
someplace
ice.
different.
Yeah, that was you. And you got frustrated with me because I didn't realize you didn't have the order. I went over it a few times. Then I drove away and I saw you like, and then we get up to the window there, and then you asked to confirm yes, and I was never rude to you, even though I.
Oh my gosh, there's so many people, I guess.
Right.
Could I forget?
Even though you
I've seen your report.
Yeah, but it's different seeing him in person than seeing him in the car. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
It's very different. Yeah.
But I was very respectful to you, even though I told you to order like 6 times. But it was all good.
I'm
you
still
know?
learning,
Yeah.
honestly.
And good, and we all are. So God bless you. And I got the burgers. The burgers were
Look,
good, and they had the perfect amount of
their
ketchup.
assignment is over. We're no longer.
I will say
We're no
this,
longer
though,
considered a.
Most people don't know
threat.
it's not 100% beef anymore.
Whoa.
That's so funny.
Really?
They're soy.
But like you
I
can
didn't
see him
know that.
following us around, edging. We
Do
wrote
they
it so
still
he
say
goes,
100% beef? They advertise 100% beef?
The posters are in there, but you have to see it's 2014.
Wow.
I knew, so when I saw the video, I'm like,
They're not Burger King. They're not 100% beef.
no, but you can, no, but
It's soy now. Soy and
there's
beef.
soy in there.
Oh yeah.
No, if you look, but if but if there's a menu thing, and then if you look at the last row, it's allergens.
Yeah.
And you can see the espresso.
Wow.
Oh, that's
and the
crazy.
And the chicken too. We got inside scoop. This is awesome.
100% chicken either, right?
Yeah, right. No, I
No, it's part soy.
No,
part
it's
soy.
no, it's not 100% chicken either.
Right.
I had the chicken junior. I'm like,
That was good.
Wow.
Look, we were extra nice to
Congressman Rob
We were
Menendez.
extra nice to Congressman Menendez today. I mean, we probably could have been a little more.
I wanted to create a bridge today.
Yeah, I think so too.
I wanted to create a bridge.
No, because
Yeah.
right. Listen, he personally hasn't done anything to us.
No, I have no issue with him
I
personally.
have no issue with
so
him.
I'm not going after him.
Right. Now we have a situation with someone. There's a common denominator, right? He's a friend of a guy that. Well, he is the one that was like, if Brian says. But wait,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be if Brian says. Absolutely not. It should be when the people say.
Well, to be clear, what he was doing at a campaign event, he was telling people, if Brian says to vote for Gabe Rodriguez and Larry Weinstein, you must do it.
Right.
Because Brian tells you. What?
Right.
Is this a dictatorship?
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
oh, they're talking about 33%.
It should be. Listen, I support these candidates because.
Yeah.
And simple as that.
Right.
Not like if Brian
No, but
says that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, he said Brian says.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it like you never play Simon Says. Simon Says do this, do this.
No, I know.
Yeah, he said if Brian, it's on their own
And
website.
he didn't say why they should vote for the candidates, only because Brian says. Not that they're going to do this for you, they're just going to do this for you.
Yeah.
Just vote for them because Brian says.
No, but Hudson County is very much like that. Like they got their like.
Absolutely.
teams, they got
we
their
know.
squads.
Yeah.
Like Nick Sacco, one, and then
Yeah.
Brian Sack, the other.
Yeah, and then everybody in between. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. And what was your name again? Tell me.
Jessica.
Jessica. Okay.
Jessica.
There we go.
See,
Have it Jessica's way.
I'll go order from you.
Here, take a picture with Jessica.
Yeah. You have a camera? You want me to take it with your phone?
That's okay. That's okay.
Well, I'm taking a video, so I got 60 pictures already. I got 120, 60 frames per second.
Or should I take a good picture?
Yeah. I'll get the screenshot.
Okay, good.
You got her contact information?
Yeah, I can give it to you. So.
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you on Facebook?
You still live? All right. This was a good event.
okay.
And again, I wanted to create a bridge with Congressman Rob Menendez because I've got no issue with him personally. He has never done anything personally against me. He is a huge supporter of the most corrupt politician in the country, Senator and Mayor Brian Stack.
Sure.
But I judge a man by that man.
And phone number
So
is?
he wasn't happy to have a conversation with me today. He really wanted to go away. I think he was afraid of the optics if he did, but he made the right decision. Regardless of his intention, it would have been great if his intention was, you know what, let's just get to know Leroy Truth man to man and forget what Senator and Mayor Brian Stack keeps saying about him. But all I'm doing is exposing corruption of Stack, and he's corrupt. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm just a mirror. Full Court Press is a mirror. South Jersey News is a mirror. Bottom line. And so I look forward to contacting the office of Congressman Rob Menendez and myself and Full Court Press and South Jersey News will do an interview. We'll all conduct one
we'll
with
talk
him.
to Nathaniel. He was very nice and cordial.
So Nathaniel.
Yeah, we were just talking about you, how nice and cordial you were.
How can we set up an interview? Because I love that I had the opportunity to talk with him a little bit.
And we
ask him
didn't do any
questions.
gotcha shit.
And I didn't set him up. I didn't do any gotcha. Because I want to create relationships.
Yeah.
Now, I've got issues with politicians he supports, but he's not them.
Right.
He's never done me wrong. And
I
so,
don't think I have either.
no, and you
Not at
haven't
all.
either.
We just met.
I think you were trying to block us from talking with him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, I like the transparency.
No, listen,
Right.
I,
He was
I
honest.
get it. We understand that. Yeah.
And it was obvious
And
also.
I know why.
But you
obvious.
see, there was no gotcha moment. I certainly could have done that, but I don't want to. I want to create a relationship with him. And that we can talk separate from Senator Stack, Mayor Stack.
yeah.
And because there are issues that I have, and I have a very unique window because I expose and investigate more corruption than any journalist in the state of New Jersey. I have thousands of contacts all over New Jersey.
Yeah.
My focus has been in Union City initially, then Hudson County, now it is statewide.
Yeah.
And so I would love to be able, for all of us to
But
meet
his
with him.
response was an appropriate response. Listen, you're more than welcome to do. If we got that same response in Brian Stack's Union City, we wouldn't even be there anymore, right? If we're advocates for the First Amendment and we come and we ask questions and record, and the very first time we go there, a member of the government snatches the phone out of your hand, throws it on the floor, threatens to punch you. Oh, now you just invited us back.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know anything about
Yeah,
it.
well,
I don't know
I'm
anything
gonna
about it.
give you the Cliff Note version,
Yeah.
and everything's on my
I also
YouTube
just want to
channel.
let you know, I think we only have the space till 8.
Okay.
So
I'm going to give
I
you.
don't want to throw you out.
I'm going to
yeah,
give
no,
you a
no,
2 minute.
Somebody will.
I'm going to give you a 2-minute version.
Sure.
I was asked to investigate allegations of corruption against Senator Mayor Stack back in December of 2023. I then had questions for him about corruption, and I went peacefully to the very first meeting in Union City. After that meeting, he was a witness there. I am talking, there was a gentleman who came up to me, an older gentleman.
First time I ever worked with you.
Right, first time.
Yeah.
And an older gentleman came up to me, and he was telling me how corrupt Mayor Stack is.
This is a resident.
As soon as he said those words, Mayor Stack comes from behind me on the right. Justin Mercado, the Secretary of Board of Education, comes up to me on the left. And suddenly, Justin Mercado attacks, assaults, and robs me of my cell phone.
This is like deja vu because we were standing pretty much in a triangle, just like you're the gentleman, he's there, I'm there, and they came from right behind us the same way, and exactly how he's telling you. It was just this scenario here at a right after a public meeting.
And there's more.
Same situation.
And then it's all caught on 3 high-definition security cameras. We didn't record it at the time.
Well, I was trying
I see
to.
your setup now.
Right. So then, nothing to get past us now.
It's 1, 2, 3.
But then he assaults and robs me, steals a $1,200 phone. That's a felony. Then he attempts to punch me in the face. He runs across the room and then takes this phone he stole from me, waves it in Senator Stack's face. I got the phone because Stack told him to get my phone, to get the sources. But I never bring my source home to New Jersey. Then Justin Mercado, all on video, he attempted to punch me again. Then he threw my phone on the floor, attempted to destroy it by stamping on it with his foot. Someone whisked him out of the room, and Mayor Stack let him be taken out of the room before the police could arrest him. I brought civilian criminal charges, complaints against him. Matt Plotkin, 4 days ago, dismissed those charges, said there was no probable cause. Corrupt as shite.
And that's our issue.
Wait, but let me finish. And I gave him the incontrovertible video footage. Senator Mayor Stack told him to kill the charges. So, there's a lot now going on with that.
Listen, I think we treated you very nicely here tonight.
100%, as you should.
As you should.
Yeah,
right,
exactly. It's your right to be here.
Right.
I can't speak to anything that's happening.
But I just wanted to share that and educate that with you. Incontrovertible crimes happen against me. And Matt Plotkin killed him unlawfully. And so that's something I'm taking up with higher people, shall we say. But you and your entire staff with Congressman Menendez were completely consummate professionals.
100%.
And this is in fact the best interactions I've ever had with the staff as well. Thank you very much. You were very gracious and very professional.
He's praising us.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You know,
Always welcome to come.
listen, sometimes you hear things about people that may not be true. And you may not know who he is or who we are. And that's good because now you get to judge us based on your experience alone and not any other nonsense, right? And that's important because I like to say when I meet somebody, especially if there's some kind of history, listen, I won't make any assumptions about you. You don't make them about me, right? And, you know, I saw Rob Menendez. It was a little leery.
Oh yeah, he was trying to walk away.
You know, and it's like, and I know I saw the sheriff like, what was the impression that people have been spreading, right?
But
I don't know if
one important
did
point.
they warn you or what was that? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
We don't even. I don't know who you are.
Oh, good. I'm
But
glad.
as you
It's
can
great.
it was
imagine,
a positive experience.
I
at the
mean,
end of the day.
we're First Amendment activists.
Yeah.
It's constitutional.
Well, there's more. I'm an investigative
And
journalist,
he's.
and I investigate
I think
corrupt politicians.
You're jumping back and forth from activist to journalist.
Well,
That's smart.
it's both,
We're gonna
right?
have dinner also.
All right, one quick thing. Did you notice, you pointed out, as soon as I was asking Congressman Menendez questions, for the first time, the whole time, it got dead silent.
It did. It got really
And there's a reason for that. And it was great to have that interaction with Congressman Menendez. And we would like to set up a formal interview with the three of us and him.
You've got my contact information. I cannot promise you anything, but absolutely keep in touch with me. And I'm happy to do that.
Good. All right, excellent.
All right.
Good to meet you.
Like I said, I think we have
Good to
to
meet
be out
you.
of here.
Yeah, we're out of here. We're out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your professionalism. Appreciate you. Thank you. It was nice meeting you. Take care. My boy. Be good. Later, man.
Hey, good night.
All right.
You want to end this outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go outside. I don't know. So today you were Leonard Filipowski. I was Leroy Truth. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Let's get the backdrop.
Who did
here.
you RSVP as, Vin?
My name.
Your name. All right. So it was funny because she said, I think, she said, who do you RSVP? I said, Leroy Truth. She said, he's already here. I said, no, that was Leonard Ferdopowski.
I never gave my name. And I never gave my name to anybody, by the way.
But you were crossed off, Leroy Truth.
And I never gave my name.
That's
they never
funny.
asked me for my name.
Yeah, so
they knew who I was.
you were. They crossed you off. And I said, no, that was Leonard Ferdopowski. I'm Leroy Truth.
That's funny. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Leroy Truth. You're Leroy Truth. We're all Leroy
We're all
Truth.
Leroy Truth.
Anyone who exposes and stands up to tyranny and corruption is Leroy Truth, bottom line. This was a really wonderful event. This is how things should go. And you could dialogue with representatives, and the congressman, again, he knew me, he called me by name.
I do wish they would have let people ask their own questions.
Right.
So,
They were
like, just call
controlling
on
it.
somebody. Don't vet the questions.
Yeah. They're afraid
Yeah.
they're going to have questions that are going to make them look bad.
Right.
And here's the thing, if I was a congressman, ask anything. If I look bad, it's on me. And if I don't know something, I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to be honest.
Look, they're very well media. They're media trained. They know how to dance around a question. They know how to avoid a pivot. They don't want to answer that. They could just go around it. I mean, he gave you a very cookie cutter answer when he answered you. All right, fair enough. And he kept it pushing, and we let him rock. Like it wasn't a big deal.
But realistically, they answered what? 10 questions, and that was it, right? How many people were there? And then they answered what? 4 of them that were.
They were stupid questions.
Well, I left. I was hungry, so I went to the car.
Yeah.
Then I was watching it on YouTube. Oh. I was watching it on South Jersey News. Hey, take care.
I mean, they were really softball questions. They were really lopsided. Like, what do we do if ICE comes to take us? Like,
well, what do we do if police come to take me while I'm praying in a church in Jersey City? If Jersey City police come to take me, what do you do? Who's going to protect me? No one did.
Right, 100%. And I mean, it was like holding. It was like it was just ironic. It was weird because it was like they were talking about themselves, but don't realize it. Like they're unaware that they're the same government. That's, who the administration is to them, they are to us.
Right.
Like,
they're doing the same. They're doing the same things they're accusing Trump of. And lastly, in closing here.
I didn't know if you were handing it to me or
Corrupt
holding
Attorney
it for-
General Matt Plotkin has done the same things to me that he is accusing Trump of. He hates the rule of law if it's someone that his political supporters, like Senator Mayor Stack, corrupt Stack, don't like. So he will forget about the rule of law. Hey, we got the flashies on now. Sherry's and berries. Yeah.
Later.
So God bless South Jersey News, Vinny here, for streaming this event.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
And he's all here. Come on, camera. Wait a second.
I'll stand here. Got the mic.
All right. And so the 3 freedom tiers we are. South Jersey News, Full Court Press, Leroy Truth, NB.
Yeah.
Full Court Press, NB.
Stack has painted a picture of you. He has demonized you to the fullest
Yeah.
extent that you got thrown out of a church for it. I mean, literally dragged out without having done nothing, right? Anything. And here you could see they were so cautious. Like, why? We go to the Hudson County Commissioners meeting. There's no issues.
No.
We speak during our time. Even in Union City, we speak during our time. Maybe you don't like the content of our speech. Too bad.
That's called the First Amendment.
That's when
and the First Amendment only kicks in when there's offensive speech or disagreeable speech.
Right.
Otherwise, the First Amendment is not necessary.
But he did everything wrong from day one. You were violently attacked. He did nothing about it. He tried to shut us down at the next meeting. He did that whole parade of minions that came through and were up in our face and he did everything wrong to attack the First Amendment, and so we were, like he said, we weren't backing down. The same way he said he's not backing down from that administration, we're not backing down from that administration.
For Matt Plotkin or Governor Murphy, 2 corrupt peas in the pod. And Matt Plotkin, meet with me. You killed 4 criminal charges or 4 criminal complaints I did that were not. You didn't need probable cause.
Right.
I had absolute proof.
And you did that. And you know that the only thing that we've ever done is exercise our constitutional rights. So you were talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. I hate that freaking expression. I hate that I even said that. It's cringe.
But it works. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Matt Plotkin, I want you to get comfortable in an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs and bars, because as soon as I found out that you killed these actual complaints that happened, I was attacked and robbed. It's a fact.
Just because they're your friends is meaningless.
No,
you
but-
still have to hold them accountable
but
to
you-
the law.
But you killed it. You killed the charges. So you know what I did? As soon as I hung up the phone and I told Detective Lansing from your office, OPIA, I said, I'm going to call the FBI right now, and I'm going to call New Jersey U.S. Attorney Alina Habba, and I'm going to get you indicted. Corrupt New Jersey Attorney General Matt Plotkin. You want to be governor. Everyone's telling me he's positioned enough to be governor. You will be governor of Rikers Island. That's where you're going to be governor. Good luck with that, buddy.
Oh, that's so funny.
So I'm complete for the day, though we're never done. And
Rikers Island is in New York.
God bless you all. Yeah, he's got to go to New York.
Oh,
I want him in New York.
Why New York?
Because I boat there.
Put him on a helicopter.
I can
put him on one of those tedious helicopters that annoy
because
people.
I boat on the Hudson River, and
Okay.
I can say hello to him and say, ha ha, told you so, you're indicted. Crime doesn't pay every time I go with my boat by Rikers Island. That's why I want him there.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
All right, God bless you all. See you next time.
Peace.